Hey everyone, and welcome back to day 3 of J-Term. Hopefully you are settling back into our normal school patterns, waking up early, all that loveliness. I'm sure you're pleased. Okay, so here we go into day 3. This morning for entrepreneurism, we're going to try to focus on really testing the ideas that you started to play with yesterday afternoon. So yesterday, remember, our big tasks were to get into teams and start to prototype and think about some initial ideas, get some initial reactions around that. So today, we want to bring that feedback that you got yesterday, including from your field work yesterday evening. We want to bring that back into the classroom this morning and sort of really think about that idea, or which one idea that came out yesterday we want to start playing with at a little bit of a deeper level. It could be that multiple ideas still survive today and we test out multiple ideas throughout the day. Very possible. But we're wanting to start to think about one of those and put it through some paces. Test the idea out against a series of businessy type steps and see if that idea is still a great idea at the end of those. Okay, so after we discuss and get back from our field work and have that initial discussion, we're going to jump into the sort of broad framework that we're going to use to frame the entire task here in J-Term around our business. Okay, so that is going to lead us eventually to a document that looks like this. Okay, so you're going to get to that after the initial series of videos. You're going to get to this document, and this document is going to start to help us test out the core propositions inside of our business model around the idea that you came up with yesterday evening or you settle on this morning. All right, so groups might start to move slightly at different paces here. It all depends on where the idea is at in that sort of maturation phase. All right, it could be a super mature idea that's ready to go to different phases. It could be an idea that really needs a lot more time to process. Either way, we're going to test all that out this morning. That's going to be our first big task. After we sort of go through that phase and we get through this sort of big test of those ideas, we're going to take a little bit of a mental break and we're going to watch and see what these pitches look like that we have to give at the end of J-Term. So we have some folks that have pitched here locally. There's the videos that we'll watch. You'll help some selection on which pitches that you want to watch and see. And you'll get to see a couple of real entrepreneurs here locally pitching their companies. Okay, fine. Then we will continue to move forward after pitching our companies and looking more deeply at your ideas. So let's say your idea does survive the morning and it's still a really viable idea. Well, now we need to ask some hard questions then about that idea. Has anyone else done this idea? Or have someone else patented this idea? So we're going to have to go through a bit of a research phase where we look at the data, the research out there around our ideas to see if this idea is still a good idea, even though other people have done it, that kind of stuff. Okay, so we'll go through that kind of research process. Then we're going to come back and look a little bit more deeply at the value proposition, which is this center box. We're going to get pretty deep on what exactly is the value proposition that you're trying to bring to the table. At the end, we'll do some project tuning and we'll have our field work for tomorrow. But I don't want to, it's pretty far removed. You'll get there in a couple hours. Nothing to worry about at this point. Okay, so today is just a lot about beginning to really test our ideas, putting those ideas through their paces a bit to see if we really think they're such a good idea after we ask a lot of hard questions about them. So we'll see. I'll be bouncing around through all the rooms, of course, and I'll see you, and you can feel free to ask me questions. If you have a question that you think would be a good question for me, please do write it down so you can remember it. And then when I'm popping into your room, go ahead and fire that question at me because I love hearing questions. I also love hearing these ideas, okay? So several students across the building here on day 2, on Tuesday, asked me questions about, hey, I have this idea. What do you think about Could this idea work, or is there enough money in this system to allow this idea to work? Hey, it's fine. That's you getting great customer user feedback. That is the right thing to be doing. So you can also ask me questions about your ideas that you're thinking about for your businesses. Okay, good news. Here we go. Day 3. I'm excited. I'll see you in class in just a few minutes.